Hello everybody and welcome back to a World of Warships Blitz video. This time we are in the Tier 4, the new Tier 4 Russian battleship, the Imperator Nikolai I. So this is I think my second or third game in the ship. Took a bit of time to learn it. There's a few things about the ship that take a bit of getting used to, and probably the main thing is that the ship is quite slow, and by slow I mean not just its speed, but it has glacial turret traverse. So this is with a 20% improved turret traverse, and you can see that the turrets are very slowly making their way around. So in some respects what the ship reminded me most of is strangely enough, a Bismarck. And the reason that I say it reminds me of a Bismarck is that if you get the dispersion and not the traverse, you actually find that the turret traverse on the Bismarck is extremely slow. So strangely enough, it seemed to remind me of an unmodified Bismarck. So here's a Kumar. So as you can see, I've got to lay off the turn a little bit, and we land most of those shots on him. That'll teach him. So basically what I'm doing here, and you can see the secondaries actually have quite good range too. So in some respects it does remind me of the Bismarck. So here comes the Clemson. He's obviously decided there's a battleship, and that's a good thing to go for. Those secondaries, they have a reasonable range, so yeah, he's going to try and turn his attention towards me. We'll let him have a broadside. There's not a lot left. Out with the secondaries to finish him off, and yeah, that's a pretty good result. So I've got HE loaded. This Britannia, now he's firing off to his right, my left. He's turning away to try and deal with that Izyaslav. I'm not sure what that Izyaslav is doing. We get some hits on him, and we're loading up AP because he's a battleship. The Izyaslav has stopped and going in reverse, which is, I think he's realised that the guns are on him. Unfortunately, he's probably was better off just moving through. But as it turns out, he's done an awfully large amount of damage, seems to have got away with it. And that Britannia is busy going to try and get some shots off at me. I have 8 seconds, I don't think that's going to be enough time. Take a reasonable broadside, take his secondaries, and the guns come on steam, and bang, the second kill. So yeah, so it does take a little bit of planning ahead where I'm going to go. And basically the main thing I'm trying to do here is get these big shots off. So this Corbeil, I'm going to try and turn in and get my shots off before he gets around that island. We get most of them over the island. 8 hits out of 12, which isn't too bad. And he's got some destroyers to play with, so I'll go after this Kumar, which seems to have stopped. So you can see I can easily outturn my guns. And now what's interesting here is there seems to have been some glitches. I'm going to take 3 torpedoes, which isn't good, but that's okay. It's not like he can launch any more torpedoes. Well, he can try and turn around, but he's going to try and get away. And with any luck, it's not going to work. There we go. Let him have it.
We hit the enemy.
And yeah, he's going to try and get behind that island. Now the secondaries do have a reasonably good range, but not quite that good. They aren't quite Bismarck range secondaries, but they feel pretty good for Tier 4. And there's a lot of them. So here he goes around the island. We see if we can land some over the island. Let's see how it goes. Yep, bang. Third kill of the game. 39,000. So yeah, so basically if you can get some good shots lined up, it can do a lot of damage. It can easily be caught out of position. I'd hate to get into a knife fight with a destroyer. So I can sort of handle a knife fight and a destroyer. Strangely enough, it's a hard thing to survive, but I can do it in something like the South Carolina, but this is just too slow. this really is a long range ship, or medium range. And then we've got these last two ships. So basically all I've been doing is just trying to cause damage and stay in the cap areas. So the Kamikaze, he's coming around the mountain. He's going to turn in. I should probably have fired about there, but there we go. How are we going to go? I've got tagged him with one. He's the last ship remaining. And unfortunately this would have been the time to have tried to hit him, but I've already fired. And yeah, this guy's surrounded, so it's only a matter of time. And I don't get my last shot off. But still, the battle star came up, so let's see how we did. And just checking, come on, through you come. I should really find a way to cut my way through these. So we've got an Iron Fortress, first strike, battle star, 3 kills, 1 capture point, 41,000. Fairly good score. 52 main battery hits, 24 secondaries, 3 kills, 3 fires. And mostly it's main battery damage, 34,000 to that 41 is main battery damage. So let's actually have a look at the ship. So this time I remembered to go and get the stats. So 29,000 ship hit points, I suppose reasonable protection. Maximum speed 21.5 knots, very slow time to full speed. The main guns 12-inch guns essentially, and 4 turrets. 22 second reload time, quite slow. 8 seconds, much better. So it's got 10 per side, secondary guns. And the concealment is about 10 kilometers, so yeah, battleship. So this is what I had kitted up with it. Some traverse for the turret, some traverse for the ship, and a little bit of extra speed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching that and learned a little bit about the ship. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.